I have a question that I would like to ask you today. The Holy Spirit is willing to teach you, but are you willing to be taught? The Holy Spirit wants to teach you, but are you willing to be taught? And somebody may say, what do you mean? The Holy Spirit wants to guide us. If it's anything in life that you may be dealing with, anything that you may be going through, anything that you may be struggling with, that is what the Holy Spirit is here for within all of us, to guide us in the right direction, to teach us to be better people. The Holy Spirit is set in place to teach us to be more like Christ. And I'm going to read in you John 14:26. And I'm going to read to you what Jesus said to the disciples. But remember, what Jesus is saying to the disciples is the very same thing that he's saying to us on today. Always remember, the very same things that took place 1,000 years ago is the very same thing that takes place now. What the Lord spoke to people then is the same thing that the Lord is speaking to us now. And I'm going to read that. And it's John 14:26. And it says, but when the Father sends the advocate, my representative, this is the Holy Spirit, he will teach you. Okay, I want you to think about that. He will send an advocate, the Holy Spirit. He will teach you. Okay? He will teach you everything and will remind you of everything I have told you. I want you to think about that now. He will teach you. That is what Jesus was telling the disciples before he was going to ascend up to heaven. But he was letting them know, I am going to leave you with an advocate. I'm going to leave you with a representative. It's the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit can dwell within inside of you and guide you. It's the same for us on today. The Holy Spirit is to guide us on anything and everything that we're going through. If it's anything you're struggling with, that is what the Holy Spirit is there for. If it's any questions, if it's anything that you need, the Holy Spirit will guide you in the right direction, not the wrong direction. The Holy Spirit is there giving you the thoughts of the Father, which is God. That is what the Holy Spirit is in place for. I always tell people, the Holy Spirit had to teach me to be a wife. And some people may be like, what? The Holy Spirit had to teach me how to be a wife. And in the same way that the Holy Spirit had to teach me how to be a wife, the Holy Spirit can teach a man how to be a husband. That is what the Holy Spirit is there for. The Holy Spirit can teach you how to be a good mother. Just like the Holy Spirit can teach a man how to be a good father. Whatever it is that you may be dealing with in life, the Holy Spirit is there to teach you, because the Holy Spirit is teaching you God's ways. See, what you must remember is no more about your ways. It's about Christ's ways. See, what I had to realize when the Holy Spirit came into my life and started teaching me, the Holy Spirit had to tell me it's no longer about me, but it's about thee. And that's what I want you to think about in your life. We are called to die to ourselves daily. We're called to die to ourselves daily, because we have to remember it's not about us, it's about thee. Now in our life, we're called to act different, talk different, live different. And the only reason that we're able to do that is because the Holy Spirit dwells within us. See, the only reason that I'm transformed and I'm living the best way that I can try to live for Christ is because of who dwells in me. See, because the Holy Spirit is dwelling in me, I can't do the same things that I used to do. And that's the reason that I can't do the same things that I used to do. That's the reason I can't go to same places that I used to go. That's the reason why I can't listen to the same things that I used to listen to. What you must realize, when the Holy Spirit is truly living in you, when the Holy Spirit is truly dwelling in you, how can you still do the same things that you used to do? Because when the Holy Spirit takes control of you, you want to live new. You want to become new. You no longer want to do the old things that you used to do. You now want to do something new. That's what the Holy Spirit will do for you. See, you still can't be walking around cussing people out, but saying the Holy Spirit is guiding me. And some people do that. See, you still can't be disrespectful to your husband or your wife, or you still want to cheat on your mate, but you still want to say the Holy Spirit is dwelling in you. If the Holy Spirit is truly dwelling in you, ask yourself this question: is it anything new about you? Is it anything new about you? Because right now, the Holy Spirit is dwelling in you. Do you still hold grudges? I want you to ask yourself that question. You say the Holy Spirit is living in you and guiding you. Do you still hold grudges? Are you still unforgiving to people? Are you still mean and nasty to people? Do you still talk about people? Do you still talk down to people? Do you still not want to help people who you feel like didn't help you? And if you still doing those same things that you used to do, I truly question if the Holy Spirit is living in you, because there should just be something different about you. We have to surrender to our ways and start living for God's ways. And we must remember that God has a better way. And that's why we're called to live his way. The Holy Spirit will help you become better with your money. Anything that you're dealing with, the Holy Spirit just opens up your eyes to become better, to become more Christ-like. The Holy Spirit opens us up to God's ways. It's no longer about our ways. Our thoughts start becoming the thoughts of God's thoughts, no longer our thoughts. See, when I started seeking to have a true relationship with the Lord, I realized that this world wasn't about me, but it's about thee. And once you surrender, and once you get to that place with Christ, you start realizing that this world is no more about your ways, but it's about Christ's ways. If the Holy Spirit is living in you, and the Holy Spirit wants to live in you, and the Holy Spirit wants to guide you, and the Holy Spirit truly wants to teach you, but are you willing to be taught? Because see, when you hear that still calm voice, when you hear that still calm voice in you, when that conviction is in you, that's that Holy Spirit trying to teach you. When that conviction is coming down on you, that's the Holy Spirit trying to teach you. The Holy Spirit wants to teach you, but are you willing to be taught? Because it's a lot of people who knows, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't be doing those things, but they still do it. See, the Holy Spirit is trying to teach you, but you don't want to be taught. You still want to do things your way. But just remember, when you continue doing things your way, things will never work out the right way. Overlook your life on today. Can you truly say that you know the Holy Spirit is dwelling in you and the Holy Spirit is trying to teach you? Because it's all about us becoming better. It's no more about our old man, but now it's about our new man. We want to do better now. See, the Holy Spirit is going to stop you from talking the same. Maybe you used to get on that phone and gossip and cuss. But when the Holy Spirit is dwelling in you now, you want to do something different. You no longer want to cuss out your husband. You no longer want to fight. You no longer want to go out and do the things that you used to do. Now you're saying, Lord, I only want to do the things that's going to represent you. Is that your feeling on today? As you seek God, go to God and always ask for guidance from God. when you're getting into the word, whenever you read the word, you always ask God to guide your mind, to guide your thoughts. Go to God and say, God, you break this word down the way that you put it in place for me to receive it. Everything in our life, we want it to be guided the right way and not the wrong way. So remember, within all of us, just like back in the day when the Holy Spirit was guiding the disciples, the same way that the Lord was telling the disciples that the Holy Spirit would guide them, on today, it's the very same thing. The Holy Spirit wants to guide us in the right way. The Holy Spirit will reveal your spiritual gifts. The Holy Spirit will reveal a whole lot of stuff to you. But it's you making time to truly sit and hear what the Holy Spirit has to say. And it's you doing things the Holy Spirit way and no longer your way. So always remember my closing. Self-examination is the best examination. And Jesus Christ is Lord and he's all we have. Have a great rest of the day.